If you're looking for a recipe that can get your kids to eat a lot more veggies and it's fast and easy to make and inexpensive, this is it. Ramen noodles. It's gluten-free ramen and it is delicious and nutritious. This is a dish that my kids love, and it's a great way to get lots of plants into their diet as well. Do you think your kids would eat this much cabbage? Yeah, probably not raw, but once you cook cabbage, it shrinks up a lot. And so I'm going to show you how to get a really inexpensive meal. You can even use leftovers, and it's a gluten-free ramen. So what we do is we start with a hot pan. I've got my water boiling back here for my ramen, but I'm going to kind of get everything started first. I like to use, it's about 2 or so tablespoons of avocado oil. I like avocado oil because it's can be cooked to high heat, up to 500 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our cabbage in here. Just watch out, make sure it doesn't come back to bite you when you put it in there. You always want to put the things in there that are going to take a little bit longer to cook first. I'm going to put a little bit of the broccoli. We're going to do a little bit of broccoli in this and cabbage. We'll get those going. Get the oil coated on those and just stir frying them. This is a really great way actually to make broccoli because it doesn't take long. So once we have those going for a little while, I like to put a little bit of garlic in there. And you want to make sure your heat's not too high when you put your garlic in, because when you burn garlic, it can get a bitter taste. So a little bit of garlic goes in there. You could put as much as you like. And just get that stirred in there. Now that we've got this started, I'm going to put my noodles into the pot of boiling water, and about 1 of these per serving, per person. So we'll do 2 of those today. And you just want to boil that for about a minute and then turn the water down to simmer for 3. And that's all it takes. So we're just going to kind of keep this moving. Now, as far as giving that flavor of the ramen, you can use a couple of different things. You can kind of season as you go with a little tamari, which is gluten-free soy sauce. Or if you're wanting to go soy-free, you could use coconut aminos. This is I actually prefer coconut aminos. It's got a little sweeter taste to it. So that's just going to give it the salt and the umami taste. And just give that a stir. And you're going to want to cook the broccoli and the cabbage, 2 or 3 minutes at least to soften it up. And cut that cabbage as thin as you think you like it. So you can see as the veggies are cooking, they're cooking down a little bit. And just keep that going on about medium to maybe medium-high heat. This has been boiling. You want to kind of break up those noodles in there as they start to boil. Maybe needs another 30 seconds or more. You can add a little bit of toasted sesame oil into this pan. I like it for flavor. A little goes a long way, so maybe like a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon, whatever your taste is. And again, that's just going to give it some nice flavor. This is a really inexpensive meal. It's super quick to make. So I try and have these ingredients on hand, because if we're coming home from sports and that kind of thing and I don't have anything to eat, you can get this on the table in 15 minutes. So our noodles are cooking. You don't want to overdo those. So they're breaking apart, softening up. It's been about a minute or so, and you can turn it down to simmer, or you can even just turn it off. We're just going to let that cook about 3 more minutes while these are cooking. And you can see that beautiful brightness. The broccoli, it's just bright and green. It's not overdone. You don't want to overdo your veggies and then they start to look gray and not appetizing. You want to just get that cabbage to where it's soft, but it still has a little bit of a bite to it. And then the last 2 things we're going to add are grated carrots. And I also like to chop up some green onions, some of the whites and the greens of this, but we're going to leave that kind of towards the end, because these don't really take much time at all to cook. Now this could be a great vegetarian meal for Meatless Monday or whatever, but you could also add meat into it. You could add shrimp. If you're going to add shrimp, this would be a good point to put the shrimp in. If I'm doing chicken, I like to cook the chicken first, take it out, and then do the veggies and then put it back in. Or you can use leftovers. I've got some leftover hanger steak that we had the other night, and this is a good time to put that in there. Just get that reheated. It's already cooked. We're gonna put a little bit more of the coconut aminos. Again, it just gives kind of that soy sauce flavor without the soy. You could also use like a gluten-free teriyaki. This is a really good one. I may just put that on the end of mine, but that will have some soy in it. I'm gonna give these noodles another little stir. You want them a little al dente, but not much. All right. So while those noodles are just going another minute, we can add our carrots, give it some color. You can add so many different things to this. You could add thinly sliced red peppers. You could add fresh grated ginger in there. You could do snap peas, snow peas, bok choy. Just make it your own. I love mushrooms in this. I find sometimes my kids just like the simple one though, just cabbage and carrots and a little bit of the green onion. That's always a good one. So this is looking like we're pretty good right here. And a lot of times what I'll just do here, not even bother with a colander, just hang it over your pot a little bit to let it drain. Stir this in. All right. You can put a little bit more of your coconut aminos in there. You could even make a teriyaki out of this yourself, or if you just push in the easy button here, just finish it with a little bit of the gluten-free teriyaki sauce. Give it one more stir, get all those flavors incorporated. You gotta love one-pot meals, right? See how good this looks. Whoops, I got noodles flying everywhere. You got our ramen noodles. This is, I think it's a great vehicle for getting veggies into kids. Most kids love this kind of thing. Start with the simplest of the veggies, you know, just, if you're not sure, just pick the veggies you know your kids like. You can top it with just a little bit more teriyaki, just for color and flavor. If you like a little spice to it, you could add just a swirl of sriracha on there. And you could even get real fancy and sprinkle on some black sesame seeds. There you have it. Healthy, plant-strong ramen noodles made in less than 15 minutes.